Want to learn how to do beat looping in Rekordbox? Well, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dan from Beat Match Guru, and let's get stuck into the tutorial. So let's get stuck into how to do a beat loop up and to build up the jump for a particular track. So we have a house track here, and in order to do the beat loop, you need to click on this option here, so select the beat loop, and from there what you need to do is figure out where you want the start of the track to be. So wherever that red line there is, that's the main cursor. So what that means is that if you line that up with the first beat, and I'd advise to keep the quantize on because that will snap it to the nearest grid. And what you can do, if you're not playing the track already, you can start it from static, so you can do it this way. But if you're playing a live set, for example, then you'll want to click on these buttons to activate the different loops whilst it's playing, so then you can then let the beat loop release and go into the main drop of the track, for example. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to use the different variations of the loops. So looking at the first one here, say if we just activated this one, we click on 2. So what 2 means is you've got 2 beats of the bar. So like I mentioned a minute ago, you have the quantize, so that snaps to the grid of the beat grid, and you just count that as 1 and 2. So if you want to go less, you can click on 1. So you can see that orange area has actually reduced. And if you want to go lower, you can click on half a beat, 4th of the beat, 8th, and etc. and so on. And you can see it getting smaller and smaller. And then you can go back up. But what you can also do is actually use these arrows here, half the loop and double the loop. So you can go really, really long. So if you're going out of focus here, you can always look here on the preview of the audio track. You can see how big that loop gets, but you can also zoom out slightly as well if you really want a big loop, so you can see that there. In order to deactivate the loop, you can simply click on that, and to activate it again, you can simply click on this button here. So let's just play and then show you an example using the software itself. See, that's looping there. And if you want to reduce or half the loop, you can click on that. Half again. And you hear that building up, sort of like building up the tension. So let's go. And then you can go real. Okay, let's stop that. So you can see how intense that you can get. So say if you built that up again, all you would have to do is then click on this button here to release it. Now let's say, for example, let's go onto the Pioneer DJ controller that I have here. So you more than likely you'll use the actual DJ controller itself to use the beat loops. So let's play the actual track, and then we will use the DJ controller to activate the loop. Okay. So here you have adjust in and adjust out. So that sets the first snapped to input, and this button here snaps to the out. So let's do that. So that set the loop. So in order to do that, you need to count to the beat. But if you've got the cue selected on the software itself here, then it will snap to the beat grid, and that's why it's really important to get beat grids set correctly. So let's play that again, and we'll toy around with the DJ controllers, increasing the loops and making the loops smaller. So in order to make the beat loops smaller, you can click on this half the times and then double the times. It's exactly the same as that's on the Rekordbox software itself. So let's do that now. Let's go smaller. Smaller. You can hear that building up. And then to release, use the activate button. Boom. To recap, if you're using the DJ controller, you use the in button to set the first marker, you set the out adjust button to set the last beat of the loop, and then to make it smaller or larger you use this one to make it smaller in loop, and you can double the size of it here as well, so smaller and larger. And then to unactivate the loop you click on activate loop button here, so that clicks it on and off, and that's pretty much it. So in order to do the build up, you just use these buttons and unactivate it here. So, and that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed that session. If you want to see a full Rekordbox beginner's guide, then click on the video now. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy beatmatchguru.com with lots of tips and advice in my blog there. Also, please subscribe and like the video. Cheers.